Imagine a world where 69% of adults have less than $1,000 in their savings account. A startling reality, isn't it? This statistic is more than just a number. It's a reflection of financial vulnerability. It signifies a lack of preparedness in the face of unexpected expenses. It underscores the importance of an emergency fund, a financial buffer that can make or break your fiscal stability. In today's world, having an emergency fund is not a luxury, it's a necessity. So, what exactly is an emergency fund? You might have heard of it, or maybe you're totally new to the concept. Either way, let's dive right in. An emergency fund, in its simplest form, is a stash of money set aside to cover the financial surprises life throws your way. These unexpected events can be stressful and costly. Think of it as your financial safety net, poised to catch you when you fall. It's there when your car decides it's had enough and needs a costly repair, when a medical emergency strikes, or when the roof starts to leak. It's a buffer against the unexpected curveballs, and we all know life is full of those. But the emergency fund isn't just about covering unexpected expenses. It's about financial stability and independence. It's about peace of mind. It's about having the confidence to face whatever comes your way, knowing you have a backup plan. Think of it this way. Without an emergency fund, these unexpected expenses can lead you into debt or force you to make tough financial decisions. With an emergency fund, you gain the freedom to navigate these situations with less stress. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. So, whether you're just starting out on your financial journey or you're well on your way, having an emergency fund should be a top priority. In essence, an emergency fund is your financial safety net. A safety net that allows you to bounce back from life's unexpected hurdles with minimal disruption to your financial health. It's not just about surviving, it's about thriving. Is my regular savings count as emergency fund? Are there differences between the two? Regular savings and emergency funds both involve stashing away money, but their purposes and functions are quite distinct. Imagine you have two jars. One is a bright, colorful jar, full of possibilities. This is your savings jar. It holds all the fun stuff you're working towards. A dream vacation, a brand new gadget, maybe even a car. You can dip into this jar whenever you reach a goal, because after all, that's what makes saving worthwhile. Now, picture another jar. This one's sturdier, a bit more serious looking. This is your emergency fund jar. It's there for life's unexpected bumps in the road. Maybe your car needs a surprise fix, or the washing machine decides to take a vacation, not the kind you're saving for. This jar is your safety net, there to catch you before you fall. Here's the key difference. The savings jar is all about your wishes and dreams. You can access it freely whenever you need to. But the emergency fund jar, that's your break-in-case-of-emergency stash. It needs to be easily accessible, but also secure. We don't want to dip into it unless absolutely necessary. Think of it like this. Your savings jar is where you store your wish list, while the emergency fund jar holds your oh no list. Both are important. Now that we know what an emergency fund is, how do we start building one? Building an emergency fund is like constructing a house. It won't happen overnight, but with patience, consistency, and a solid plan, you can create a financial safety net that will keep you secure in times of need. The first step is to create a budget. This will give you a clear picture of your income and expenses. It's crucial to understand where your money is going, so you can identify areas where you can cut back and save more. Next, determine how much you need to save. A good rule of thumb is to aim for 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. This might seem like a daunting amount, but remember, you're not going to save it all at once. Break it down into manageable chunks. If you can save $100 a month, that's a great start. Now, where should this money go? It's best to keep your emergency fund in a separate, easily accessible account. This could be a savings account, a money market account, or a short-term certificate of deposit. The key is to ensure that the money is liquid, meaning you can get to it without penalty if an emergency arises. Once you've established your emergency fund goals and where to store it, it's time to automate your savings. Set up a direct transfer from your paycheck to your emergency fund. This way, you're paying yourself first. And remember, even small contributions can add up over time. Lastly, review and adjust your plan as needed. Life is unpredictable, and your financial situation can change. Regularly reviewing your budget and emergency fund can help you stay on track and make necessary adjustments. Remember, the key to building an emergency fund is consistency and discipline. It may be challenging at first, But as you see your savings grow, you'll gain not only financial security but also peace of mind. With your emergency fund in place, you can face life's unexpected challenges with confidence, knowing you're prepared. Now, let's move on to the next question. How much is enough? A common question that arises is, how much should I have in my emergency fund? Now, that's a great question. The answer, though, isn't as straightforward as you might think, because it depends on your individual financial circumstances. However, a general rule of thumb is to have 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses saved up. This means if your monthly expenses amount to $2,000, your emergency fund should ideally be between $6,000 and $12,000. But remember, this is a general guideline, not a hard and fast rule. Some financial advisors might suggest a smaller amount, like $1,000 to start with, while others might recommend a larger sum, depending on your income and lifestyle. If your job is quite stable, or you have other safety nets in place, perhaps 3 months' worth of expenses is enough. But if you're self-employed or in a field where income can be unpredictable, a larger emergency fund might be more appropriate. There are different strategies to decide on the right amount. One strategy is to start small and gradually increase your savings. This can be less daunting and more achievable. Another strategy is to save a certain percentage of your income every month. This method automatically scales with your income. So as your income grows, so does your emergency fund. You might also want to consider your personal comfort level. If having a larger emergency fund makes you sleep better at night, it might be worth sacrificing a bit of your current spending to achieve that peace of mind. In essence, the size of your emergency fund should be determined by your financial situation, your job stability, and your comfort level. It's a balancing act between having enough to cover unexpected expenses, but not so much that your money isn't working for you in other ways. Remember, the purpose of an emergency fund is to provide a safety net, not to create unnecessary stress or financial hardship. So, if you're just starting out, don't worry about hitting a specific number right away. Start where you can and build from there. Ultimately, the size of your emergency fund should be a reflection of your financial comfort. Let's hear from some people who've successfully built their emergency funds. First off, we have Jane, a single mother of 2 from Ohio. After a decade of living paycheck to paycheck, Jane decided she'd had enough. She made a commitment to set aside a small percentage of her income every month. It wasn't easy, and there were times when it felt like an uphill battle, but Jane persevered. Today, she has an emergency fund that covers 6 months' worth of expenses. She no longer worries about unexpected costs, whether it's a surprise medical bill, a sudden car repair, or an unplanned home expense. With her emergency fund, Jane found financial peace. Next, meet Sam, a young entrepreneur from California. When he launched his startup, he knew the path to success wouldn't be smooth sailing. So he set up an emergency fund as a safety net. When his business hit a rough patch, he had the funds to keep it afloat without dipping into his personal savings or relying on high-interest loans. His emergency fund was his company's lifeboat during a stormy period. Today, his business is thriving, and he credits his emergency fund as a key factor in his success. Lastly, let's hear from the Thompsons, a retired couple from Florida. They built their emergency fund over many years of disciplined saving. When they faced a major health issue, their emergency fund covered the medical expenses not covered by insurance. It allowed them to focus on recovery rather than worrying about finances. Today, they're healthy and enjoying their golden years, knowing they're prepared for any financial surprises that may come their way. These are just a few examples of people from all walks of life who've reaped the benefits of having an emergency fund. They faced financial challenges head-on with determination, discipline, and a well-stocked safety net. Their stories are a testament to the security and peace of mind that an emergency fund can provide. As these stories illustrate, having an emergency fund can provide peace of mind and financial security. Building an emergency fund may seem daunting, but it's a journey worth taking. Imagine a life where unexpected expenses don't cause you to break out in a cold sweat. A life where financial hiccups are just that, minor inconveniences, not catastrophic events. That's the power of an emergency fund. Just picture it. A world where a sudden car repair or an unexpected medical bill is not a cause for alarm. Instead, you calmly handle the situation, knowing your emergency fund is there to cushion the blow. That's financial security. That's peace of mind. You see, an emergency fund is more than just a safety net. It's a shield against uncertainty, a buffer against life's unpredictable twists and turns. It's knowing that you have the resources to weather any storm, and the confidence that comes with it is priceless. Starting this journey might seem overwhelming. You might think, where do I even begin? But remember, every great journey starts with a single step. It doesn't matter if you can only save a small amount at first. What matters is that you start. Consider this. If you were to save just $5 a day, that's $35 a week. It might not seem like much, but over a year, that's nearly $1,800. Now imagine if you could increase that amount over time. Before you know it, you've built a robust emergency fund, and with it, financial security. So don't delay. Begin your journey today. Start building your emergency fund. Start building your peace of mind. Start building your future. And remember, you're not alone in this journey. There are countless resources and communities ready to guide and support you along the way. Remember, every small step towards building your emergency fund is a step towards financial freedom and security. Thank you for joining us on this journey towards financial security. We hope that you found value in our discussion today. If so, please show your support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to our channel. We're also eager to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below about your emergency fund strategies or any financial topic you'd like us to tackle next. Remember, your financial peace of mind starts today. Let's embark on this journey together. Until next time, keep an eye out for a brand new way to save and invest.